Morning, people. How we doing? I know I'm probably not going to get many on here because this is quite a random one. I must admit, quite a shady night, and I haven't even managed to have my hit this morning. What I mean by my hit is we haven't got no bloody milk here, and I haven't been able to have a coffee yet. So a bit frustrated at the moment. I just want to talk to a few people about something that I've been looking at, something that I have been thinking about. And I know a few people are going to probably try and throw the book at me for this one, yeah? But I want people to take in what I'm going to say here seriously. Take it in, have a serious think about it. It's going to sound a bit crazy, I know. But was Conte that bad? Is Ange that good? When it comes to Ange, only time will tell. What we're doing with Ange at the moment, I must admit, he's doing well. My man's doing good. There's a lot of improvement I think he can make. There's a lot of things he needs to look at. There's a few things he's got to change the way he does it, especially where he's got to adapt to that he's now in the Premiership. Biggest place he's ever been, biggest league he ever will go, unless he goes to a bigger team in the Premiership. And I still feel our man's got a bit to learn. Now, people compare Ange to Conte, so much better, this and that. What? Because he kicks the ball forward and he plays attacking football. That is basically it. I've stated it on so many times, so many people, that when a manager comes into a club as destroyed as we were, I mean, you've got to give the man credit where credit is due. And he has built this place together and working again, yeah? But winning the fans is usually one of the hardest things to do, especially when they are destroyed, like we were, basically. Just totally destroyed. It's not an easy job for anybody to do by anybody's means. So again, credit where credit is due. But he had the easiest job in the world, the easiest job a manager has ever had on this entire planet, ever in football, to win this fan base. As all my man had to do, as all Ange had to do, was basically tell the players, kick the ball forward, play some attacking football, give these fans what they want, play some attacking football. There you go. He does that for 2 games. Bang, 90% of us all over him. Love the man. He's playing attacking football, exactly what we want. Fossil football, whatever they want to call it, from Conte out of the way. Spurs are back. Spurs are playing attacking football. I could have done that. Anyone on here could have done that. That was the easiest job for me a manager's ever had in his entire life. So in that aspect, I'm not going to give him all the credit for that one because it was that bloody simple. Now look at the team he's got. And then let's go with Conte quick before we go to the team that Ange's got. Conte came to us in a mess as well. Yes, football he played we didn't like. Conte got us into 4th place. 4th place. Now, if Ange gets us in the top 6, at the start of the season, I would have said brilliant. But now I look at the team he's got, I see the players he's got and everything. I expect top 6 with that team, as long as he can get the players playing properly. And we do know a few of them have just been terrible at times, like Basuma, who, as far as I'm concerned, one of my favourite players at the start of the season, selling at the end of the season. For me, I'd rather play Højbjerg as my DM than Basuma. But before I go deep into this, since I've got a couple of people on the crowd, I'm going to say hello to a couple of people. I'm not going to be reading through this as much because otherwise I'm going to divert myself again, as I do quite often, from what I want, the point I want to make. So just a quick couple. Badder, big up Dan, big up to you too. Tony Rodriguez, always good to see you on here, mate. Big up Dan, smash a like and subscribe. Tony, what you got to say about this one quick? Conte took us from 9th to 4th and Champions League with a poor squad. If he had been backed, he would have given us a trophy. I'm completely convinced of that. So am I. I'm still wondering where we'd be if we had Conte now. This is what I'm going to go to. And David, big up Dan, big up to you too, mate. El Cockerel, morning Dan in the chat, morning to you. Again, people, this is just something that was brewing on me last night and something I mentioned on Time Added On last night, that, you know what, when I got up and I couldn't have my coffee, I thought, you know what, I'm going to do this. And I know it's probably going to upset a few people, but in that aspect, we're all entitled to our own opinion. Ellie, what you got to say here? No, Conte wasn't bad, Dan. Levy is the bad man, but not just to Conte, but to Poch, Martin, Yol, Jose. Yep, 100% right. And Ellie, what you saying here? Conte, I loved him, so passionate. Now, with Conte, my man has done it in Juventus. My man has done it at Inter Milan. He's done it at Chelsea. He's won everywhere. Same as Mourinho. Everywhere. And now anyone who's got the audacity to even slate Mourinho just hasn't got a clue about football. End of. One of the greatest managers there has ever been in football, Mourinho. Everywhere he's been, he's done it, won it everywhere. Except Spurs. Same as Conte, except Spurs. You could bring in Pep, Klopp, you bring back Alex Ferguson or Wenger on their prime and put them at Spurs, and they probably still won't win nothing because we never bloody do. But this is where I'm going to get to. Going to read out a couple more quickly. All right, David. The problem is Ange that he's not flexible and won't change his system to win, just like Conte. Exactly, and just like Mourinho. That is one of the problems I do have with Ange. He doesn't seem to be willing to adapt. It's his way or the highway. Mia, great to see you. Conte would have wanted players Ange has. Let me start again. Sorry. Conte wouldn't have wanted the players Ange has. Look how he treats Sarr. Yeah, but Mia, I'm going to come back on you on that one. Basuma, he never played. I think it's starting to show why. And Sarr was a year younger. So I don't know if we can bring that one into it. He could have given him a go. And why he didn't play him after we won that, didn't win after that game against AC Milan, where he just totally bossed the midfield. I don't see why he didn't play him. And Ellie, we aren't back in the same spot there. We are about as Conte left us. Exactly. Now, the one thing I definitely agree with you on here, Mira, is what you're saying here. Sorry, Conte came for the payday. Gave us zero about us, and Ange actually cares. Yep, I'll go with that one. I'll agree with that one. But he still got us in fourth place with that poxy little team he had that not even the best manager on the planet would have been able to do anything with. Now, let's have a look at something. Conte's style of football, Ange's style of football, two total different styles of football. Now, if Conte's style of football is that bad, why was it really good to watch at Juventus? Why was it good to watch at Inter? Why was it even good to watch at Chelsea? Why? Because he would sit back, take in everything that the team throws at him in front, and then he'd have two extremely good wing backs, fast, straight up there, get the ball into the middle, get the ball out wide, or get the wing backs overlapping. I am not liking this inverted crap off of Ange anymore. And he'd have it straight up the pitch. Moments. He'd sit back, wait, get it, counter. It was up there. But look at the team he had. If we had a quick look at Conte, this was the basic team he had all the time. At times he had Bentancur, but Bentancur got injured and everything else. So look at that. In the middle, when he wasn't injured, he had Romero, Sanchez, and Dyer. Or he might have had Longley there. On the left, Davis. On the right, Royale. Okay, he got Porro, but Porro was just absolute crap when we first got him. In the middle, he's got Højbjerg and Skip, and on the right, he's got Kulusevski, who we all know is as patchy as Son, who had the worst season he has ever had, who I wouldn't have complained if we'd have sold him for that because it was that bad, until I found out he had an injury. And he had a brilliant Harry Kane up the front. Just keep quiet for a moment. Just think what I've just shown you there. Now, give this team to Ange and Ange's style of play and everything. We're fighting relegation. Simple as that. We'd be lucky if we weren't relegated. If we was playing that team in Angie's style, relegation, we'd be fighting it. Hard words, maybe, but it's a fact as far as I'm concerned. Imagine the way we play, and we got a crap keeper like Lores. We got 3 slow defenders there. You got Davis and Royale underlapping with Højbjerg skipping the middle, Kulusevski, Shady as. Son just could not get his act together because of his injury, and you got poor Harry Kane up there having to hold the whole bloody team. Yeah, with Ange, we're fighting relegation. With that team. Now, go and take the team we've got now, and give that to Conte. Bring Conte over here now, and give that to Conte. Right. And we'll go Conte style right now. So we got a quality keeper, Vicario. That's always a good start. And then in his 3 in the middle, we've got Romero. On the left, we got Van der Ven. And on the right, we now got Dragusin. That's your DM bit covered as well, because when the ball presses forward on the counter, we can have Romero going forward, cover the number 6 spot, DM, whatever we want to call it, and he also comes back. He'd have a Doji on his left, wing back, Porro on his right wing back, the way he is now, and he could have a choice of 2 in the middle, however he wants to play. Maddison, maybe he wants to play Højbjerg, I very much doubt that. Bentancur, Basuma, Sarr. And then up front, okay, not so good for him, but Kulusevski, Son in the middle, and then we've got a choice of players that we can stick on the left. He can stick with Richarlison there or swap Son round with him, either way. But now bring that back to Conte style of play, counter-attacking. Let them attack us. We've got 3 solid defenders there. Well, Dragusin will have to wait and see how solid, but he's definitely better than Logney and Dyer. That's not particularly hard, is it? Or even poor my man on the subs bench is even, if I've got it written down here right, he had someone like Tanganga, Mora, Sanchez, and Sessegnon as his subs. And that man got us to 4th place. 4th place. And people slate this manager. Now you go take Conte style of play now with the team we've got. I think we're fighting for well, we're not even fighting for 4th place. We've got 4th place easy, and I think we'd be fighting for top 3. Sounds a bit crazy, maybe, but just think of the styles of play. This team now that we have would have suited Conte down to a T. Conte wasn't just called a world-class manager for the fun of it. He was called a world-class manager because he proved himself. Yeah, he didn't care about the club. He was there for the money. But one thing my man did do was state how poor this club is run, how the team he had was selfish. They weren't winners. They didn't want to win nothing. They didn't care, bar maybe Harry Kane and Son at the time. Bentancur was injured, as we know. But again, that team I just read out to you and showed you on there that Conte had, give that to Ange. Again, I'll say it again, we are fighting relegation. Because Ange would get totally destroyed with that team. Totally. Now, he's done well with the Spurs team so far, and they're still learning his style of play. But I've got another question with that one. Still learning. Okay. Still places we need to improve on that team. But 1 game a week. 1 game a week. More training than most of the other top 6 teams, big teams, because most of them was in Europe and that. And some of the players are still finding it hard to adapt to his style of football. Yes, it's different. They will find it hard. But I'm finding Ange, I'm a bit sceptical of him. Like people know, I don't like his subbing. I don't like this inverted wing-back crap. And I don't think he's playing certain players to their full potential in the certain positions. This team with Conte would have gone places, I believe, because we would have had a manager who's done it, been there, got the storybook, not learning the Premiership, won the Premiership, won the FA Cup. won the Serie A, won it everywhere he's been, except Europe. Conte has been crap in Europe, no two ways about it. That's why he don't stand up there with Mourinho, Ancelotti, Klopp, and the rest of them, yeah? But everything I've just said to you, take it into consideration. Because, like I say, I'm going to try and keep this one short and sweet. It was just a point I wanted to throw out to a few people. So if we go to the side again, Ram, big up Dan, big up to you too. Tony, not even Pep or Klopp could have succeeded with our owners. Yep, with the owners, we all know it's the owners, but forget Levy for this one. Forget the owners. Just totally forget it. Look at the teams that each person was given. Ange has definitely, if you want to go by owners, Ange has definitely been looked after a lot better than bloody Conte was, yeah? Can we say any different? I don't think so. Some of the players, yes, we've lost Harry Kane, I know, but Ange has definitely been given a much tidier hand of players than Conte was. I mean, what Conte was given was absolute abysmal as players, the majority of them, 90% of that team. And like people have said, Klopp, Pep, none of them could have done anything with that team. But Conte got us into fourth place with that team. He got us to beat Arsenal, who have been better than us for a couple of seasons now, and he got us to nick that fourth place. Would Ange have done that? No, because we'd have been right at the bottom fighting relegation with his style of play, definitely. Ben, what Conte could have done with Dragusin and Van der Ven, yeah, and do Dodgy, and Porro the way he is now, and Sarr in the middle with Jamie Maddison. Or do you know what? Stick Sarr, Bentancur in the middle. Stick Jamie Maddison up on the left because he has played up on the left. He has done it for Leicester a few times. England seem to like to put him there when they do decide to play him. But then where we played Son. But that's the questions. That's good questions to have when you've actually got a choice of players you can put somewhere. When you've got on your subs bench Tanganga, a done and dusted Lucas Moura, Sessegnon, Davis and Royale as your two wing backs, Skip, Højbjerg in the middle, a busted Son, Kulu, patchy as, and an epic Kane up front. I don't think there's many managers that have ever been in football that would have been able to get us to fourth place. I really don't. What Conte did there was special. And what do we all do? Me being one of them who did it for a long time until I sat down and had a thought about it. We ripped our man a new one. Why? Because his football was boring. Why was his football boring? Oh, because it's old, it's counter-attack. No, counter-attack can be some of the most exciting football you'll ever see. And if you actually watch some of Conte's games when he played like with Juventus, when he did it with Inter, when he did it with Chelsea, it was exciting to watch. Why? Because it was fast. It came back, hold it, because he had a solid defence, bang, straight up the pitch, up the other end, goal. It worked everywhere. And again, I keep saying it, he got us in fourth place. I think Conte deserves a bit more credit off of us than we give him. And again, everybody, go back and have a look at the teams and have a look at what we've got now. And if we had Conte now, a manager with the experience he's got, knows what he's doing, proven, won everything all over the place except Europe with that team we got now. Ange, in a way, has had it a bit on a plate with the team he's got. Yes, he's had to adapt him to his style of football and everything else and all that, and that's going to take time. But Ange, in